Okay, well, that's pretty cool. And if you could perform with any musician or band, who would it be?
Bands that existed, like The Doors, Jefferson Airplane, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
All the oldies.
I love that, they're amazing, Pink Floyd, I would say Tool, but Tool's too cool. Rammstein, they're Beck, but he's also a musical genius. These examples of bands. I'm thinking of learning a little bit more about electronic music because I like listening to electronic music as well. And there's a band called Juno Reactor they've been around since 1993, I think, and they're still going strong. He's busy with his latest album. And when I lived in the streets in America, and I was awakening to all these parallel universes and hearing things and seeing things. And I was going through a dark night of the soul. They really this inspired me, and I still listen to them, and it's just uplifting.
So you've had some really tough times, and do you think music has helped you through it?
Definitely. Now I express those feelings. It's healing. It brings up emotions, and emotions control the body, which the ego controls the emotions. It controls the thoughts that are linked to an experience, which controls the emotions. And when you listen to music, it can bring up these emotions which are linked to previous experiences, and it can be transmuted by the higher self. That's what inspires me.
That's so true. And how would you describe your style of music?
I cannot say,
Eclectic.
Well, yes, I had to look that word up, by the way. I wasn't sure what it meant. I feel like making something industrial. Tomorrow I feel like covering 9 Inch Nails. Tomorrow, the next day, I feel like doing something more acoustic. I've got a drum and bass version of a song, and then one is like a psychedelic punk type of song. I get lost. I have to, when I upload my music, they say you have to classify a genre, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say. There's so many different genres. I just say alternative rock, even though somebody else should classify it, knows a little bit more about this stuff.
Obviously, you're very talented to be able to make such an array of music, and that's pretty awesome. But now let's move on to you being a shaman. In actual fact, I'm also a shaman. I've first had my shaman sickness 10 years ago, but I'm out of practice, and it's not something that I like to entertain. I'd rather just be normal. But for you, you seem to embrace it. Would you say that it's part of your everyday life?
Well, I speak to spirits well, I wouldn't say dead because I don't believe in death. I believe that the death has been overcome. I believe in the resurrection. I believe in infinite consciousness. And I am in communication with the spirits of my previous pets that I've had, animals. There's a whole bunch of them, birds, cats, mainly cats, Shiger, Chimera, Falcor, Chewbacca, Buffy. And I use some pictures that I've drawn while I was going through this awakening and this dark night of the soul and a really hard time. I was expressing myself in my art, and I manipulated the art somewhat, and I use their pictures on my album, my EPs, as album art. I'm in communication with them all the time, and I embrace, like, I'm in communication with Gaia, the Mother Earth. Calypso, which is the goddess of the ocean. The ocean would speak to me while I'm sitting on the beach. sometimes, or I'm looking out of my window. Who are we to say that? And people can say, "Oh, you're crazy." Paulo Coelho, for example, he was also admitted to a mental institution because he wanted to be a writer, and his parents said that declared him insane. Einstein said, "The thing that always makes me hazy, am I or all the other ones crazy?" Everybody's crazy because we have a split mind. We listen to spirit, which is where where the shamanism for me, that's what I identify myself with, because that's who I am truly. And there's the ego, which is, of the material world and this world, of chaos.
And when did you first discover how special you are and that you are indeed a shaman?
Well, I would definitely say that the one time I was on the farm, there was a whole bunch of bees, and the people on the farm, they would just, they just kill animals. I was in tears so many times, I couldn't handle it. There were bees in my room, like a whole swarm of bees, and they were on their way to come and exterminate them. I went to the bees and I said to them, this is a true story, I'm not making this up. I said to them, "You guys, you got to get out of here, you're going to die." And I flipped my curtain over, and they suddenly, next minute, they were all gone. I called my mother and I showed her, and she couldn't believe it. That's one time when there's a story about a spider. I basically went to England, and I went into a sixth sense shop because I was attracted to gemstones and anything sixth sensory, esoteric. So I bought a little book about the higher self, and I bought a box of animal cards, animal spirit cards, animal guide cards, because I was always attracted to the idea of shamanism, animal guides, animal spirits. And as I walked out of the shop, I had this dress on with spider webs on it. A spider out of nowhere, I don't know, out of the air, a little spider dropped, as I opened the book, dropped on the booklet. And I was like, what the hell? And then it dropped and it just disappeared. It dropped down to my dress with the spider webs on it, and it just disappeared. As soon as I got to the little pub, I was staying on top like a keep. This was probably a few days after I arrived in the country. I opened up the box of the cards, and the first card I pulled out was a spider. And it said a journey made, long journey made, and important connections and something like that. But that was exactly what was going on. The story goes on and on and on, but I'm going to stop there. I've been bitten a few times.
And you didn't turn into Spider-Man.
No.
That's quite a coincidence. Would you say that a spider is one of your spirit animals?
Definitely. I spoke to Arachne while I was living under a bridge in America.
Okay, and for you, what does it mean to be a shaman?
Well, it's not, I wouldn't say like I'm, you're like a witch doctor. In South Africa, they call him sangomas, which is a witch doctor. This whole world is made of magic, right? Medication is a form of magic. People just sit in a laboratory and they blah, blah, blah. Oops, suddenly the thing works. It's magic. It's all together held together by magic. Anything ritualistic is magic. I believe in miracles. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean like in a dogmatic sense, because I know a lot of people that are agnostic or, atheists or something or whatever, a non-religious will cringe. I'm not meaning this, because spirituality is an abstract concept, but miracles are natural. If they do not occur, something went wrong. Magic is when you call on the ego. You use the forces of this world that we project from our subconscious mind So in that sense, I wouldn't say I'm your traditional shaman. I don't know that much about shamans, to be honest with you. For me, it is being in touch with my spiritual side and being one in mind and in spirit with animals, the earth, nature, the universe, and my alcateral, my kitties, and my boy. I've got a cat named Yuki. He talks to me as well, you know. I have a very great love and holy relationship with animals, and that is embracing the spiritual side, because in spirit we're all connected.
Well, that's all very interesting. I hope my listeners enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your time, and keep up the good work and keep making the awesome music.
Thanks,
cheers, everyone.
Thanks a lot for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, V.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.